Can you put the decline we've seen in the dollar into perspective?
Well, if you look to the dollar being on parity with major currencies, it would be at 100. We're going to be averaging about 91 and change for 2017. Our expectation is we fall another 3 percentage points, averaging about 88. So still the trend is downward for the U.S. dollar, which would benefit investors who have expanded overseas and have really taken advantage of an asset class that has underperformed in 7 of the last 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that the dollar is down by so much, but there's a lot of different factors. The incredible rebound in Europe is one of them. And so it's funny because we talk about the dollar having its worst year since 2003. The euro had its best year since 2003. And so some of it is just the mirror image of that. And then, yeah, this desire to invest overseas. We had this multi-year underperformance of emerging market assets. These, for the first year, this year, they started to turn things around. The economy started to improve. So it's not, we talk about it bad for the dollar, but a lot of it is just like things are looking pretty good overseas. So might be in dollars.
But fair point. But if you wind up seeing stumbles in the global synchronized recovery, like both you and Paul didn't necessarily seem super constructive going into 2018 in terms of what the global economy or U.S. economy will do, what does that do to the dollar? How much rotation do we see into other countries or vice versa?
Actually, I think Paul and I are constructive on what is likely to happen to the economy here and overseas. It's just that investors have already bought into that.
Fair.
And that's why for 2018, the continuation will probably not be as great. Our expectation domestically is 3.1% real GDP growth in 18 versus 2.3 for this year. And globally, it's almost 4% as compared with 3.7% for 2017, with the majority of that growth coming from the emerging markets. So most of the strength globally is overseas, and it's with the emerging markets relative to the developed.
Do you think that the euro and European equities can rally at the same time?
Well, I think that they can, because it's more of an optimism play, that we do find investors are just feeling better about moving back into Europe.
I just think, it'll be interesting to see if we do have some sort of downturn, whether it's sort of our growth is sort of disappoints, which case maybe that'd be dollar negative, or whether there's a panic, because of course in a panic people just want to reach for dollars. So even if if something were to happen to the global synchronized recovery, I think a lot of it would depend on how nervous it makes people and whether it just sort of causes a reset of expectations or a volatility spike.